actually shape what we're going to build. It'll start from the sort of basic to the face. And I think that'll feel a lot more. Stuff. Ashen gray. Fair skin, black light. Definitely level. Whoever said that mages have to be skin. I always liked the eye. He's got nothing. I feel like he would snarl his nose. Well, so maybe that's a strong nose. Yeah, the dark elves have very unfortunate elves. It's the ones that push up into while it's subtle, I can almost never tell something. I can never tell if it's black, lilac. Just go with red. Let's see. Maybe feel the bushy brows, the snarl. I don't know, but I always preferred it's just the wank kind of thing. But they ended up doing this very urban, phonetic human kind of accent. Speaking of accents, I hate mine. I don't know if you have a match. Kill people where you are. That's from. by time in life. Mage. New team. It's not bad. Let's see. Yes. Declining dropout maybe. Tribunal heretic. Just tourist. Not on the eyes though. That's not the one I'm saying. Black goes in that way. I like we can change it later. I suppose I could check the chat. Still get used to that. If there is anyone. Let's take a look. Viewers. Can't really hear you. Awesome. Well, I guess I can fix that. And how is that? Hopefully that's better. Now, let's see. We like lore friendly names. That's a bit of a reference to another YouTuber streamer that I respect. Dave, you know who you are. Sarah Nova. How about that? I can respect that.
Another refugee? Gods really have abandoned your people, Dark Elf. Captain,
Good deal, you can hear me.
what should we do? He's not on the list.
Forget the list. He goes to the block.
By your orders,
Fuck.
Captain. I'm sorry. We'll make sure your remains are returned to Morrowind. Follow the captain, prisoner.
I was tempted on just starting the stream before, or rather after Helgen. Everybody's seen this
Ulfric
intro a million
Stormcloak.
times.
Some here in Helgen call you a hero, but a hero doesn't use a power like the voice to murder his king and usurp his throne. You started this war, plunged Skyrim into chaos, and now the Empire is going to put you down and restore the peace.
Here's some food for thought.
What was that?
It's nothing. Carry on.
Who's right?
Yes, General Tullius.
It's a very complicated
Give them their
discussion.
last
I
rites.
understand, but
As we commend your souls
there are
to
two of you
Aquarius,
in the chat.
blessings of the eight divines upon
Empire
you.
or Stormcloaks?
Let's get this over with.
Learn up as you wish.
Come on! I haven't got all morning. My ancestors are smiling at me, Imperials. Can you say the same?
I wonder if you can get demonetized for decapitation. Guess I'll find out.
You Imperial bastards!
Oh,
Death to the Stormcloaks!
As fearless in death as he was in life.
Next, the Dark Elf!
racist.
Here it is again.
It's because I've got ears.
I said, next prisoner!
To the block, prisoner.
One for the Stormcloaks. There you go. There you go. Religious freedom and all that. I see.
What in oblivion is that?
Sentries.
Fantastic. Yeah, the appearance of Alderman at the beginning, I was very surprised to see this happening. But and I always wondered what that was. I think it's your character tripping over the executioner. But what if I reload Rayloff? What'll happen to us then? Oh yeah, I could play this game for years. I have since 2011 when it came out.
Legends don't burn down villages.
Ah, yes. Damn the mood.
We need to move now!
Is this man a hero? A lot of people will glance over the fact that he's actually an Imperial.
Yes, now!
Yes, my liege.
Second out there.
He's actually an Imperial Legion veteran. Ulfric was captured during the Great War, where he was led to believe that when he finally did break and give off, information, that he was responsible for the sacking of the Imperial City, which was in fact a lie.
Pay blood for blood.
Oh wow, I've never seen Rayloff get burned before.
See the inn on the other side? Jump through the roof and keep going.
No! We're following we can.
Oh, yes. The special edition really does highlight just how amazing this set piece is. I wish that there were more moments like this throughout the story. I mean, I remember when I first played the game, I was hiding in this. I thought that he would be able to like get me in through this little opening and burn me up. But
You need to get over here now.
fun fact, you can also find this child in the overworld later, but not Gunnar, the old man.
Still alive, prisoner? Keep close to me if you want to stay that way. Gunnar, take care of the boy. I have to find General Tullius and join the defense. God's guide you, Hadvar.
Hadvar, he's not the main character. Alright. Yes, Velod. Racist. Actually, Velod's probably a Imperial supporter, as is most of the town. Great stuff, gotta say. Let's see. Maybe that's Velod.
It's you and me, prisoner. Stay close.
Well, either him or his friend over there makes mead with juniper berries mixed in. Whew. So, should we go with Hadvar or Ralof?
Why? I hope that dragon takes you all to Sovngarde.
That is actually a veiled compliment, I think. Ooh. Oh yes, he's speaking the dragon tongue now. Oh. Well, I think that it's very interesting if a Dunmer were to actually fight with the Stormcloaks. So I guess I'll go there. Ah, Ralof, yes. And I've got to admit, I love killing that Imperial Captain.
Looks like we're the only ones who made it. That thing was a dragon, no doubt.
No.
Just like the children's stories and the legends.
Truly.
The harbingers of the end times.
I love Ralof.
Come here. Let me see if I can get those bindings off.
Ralof, a wizard,
You may as well
has
take
no
Gunnar's
need of
gear.
Gunyar's gear,
He won't be needing
but
it
the game will not continue unless I loot him.
All right.
There
Get
you
that
go.
armor on and give that axe a few swings. I'm going to see if I can find some way out of here.
Yeah. Maybe I can melt something. If that's only how it worked. Alright.
This one's locked. Let's see about that gate.
Some of the best gameplay comes in through the magic system, even if it is dumbed down from Oblivion. Quick little note, usually with most things, flames is the way to go, unless you're dealing with specifically dark elves, or with, fire elementals. But it does consistent burning damage even after you're done with the initial attack. Nice.
Maybe one of these Imperials had the key.
No, sir. And I always take her helmet.
Key? See if it unlocks that door.
Yeah, alright. Keep your boots on.
Come on, let's get out of here before the dragon brings the whole tower.
Like I was saying, flames is good, like, all around. Sparks, however, will also drain target magicka, so it's great against mages. And then frost is probably the best against warriors and stamina-heavy
That
enemies.
dragon doesn't give up easy.
He sure
Grab
does.
everything important and
He's
let's
like all the
move.
frat guys in
Dragon's
college.
burning everything to the ground.
All right. There we are. Not enough magic. What?
A storeroom. See if you can find any potions.
Oh,
We'll need them.
got to. So who's my other viewer, or is it? No, yeah. Who's my other viewer? I know Brad. Hello, Brad. Do we have a lurker? Is that what you're doing? Are you lurking? It's okay. This is, well, not for these guys, but this is a safe space. Oh, bucket. Amazing.
Done? Let's get moving.
You know, believe it or not, I am done, Raylos. Oh yeah, Mage. Whoop. Oh. Nice.
Oh well. Was Jarl Ulfric with you?
No, I haven't seen him since the dragon showed up.
Wait a second. Looks like there's some...
Oh,
Man, that guy's rough.
It's locked. See if you can get it open with some picks. We might need that gold once we get out. Grab anything useful and let's go.
Ah, yes. Time to strip that. What? That's funny. That is funny. All right. We already know Sparks, but it's okay. We can sell it. And so it begins. You know, believe it or not, the Book of the Dragonborn is actually... No one reads it, I don't think, but I will. I will. I'll do it for the stream. One of the best things about... you know, this guy has a steel dagger. And the rare Torturer's Hood. Only a few of those in the game. Because they're named other things. Like, it's actually the Thieves Guild Hood is what it's most commonly known as. But yeah, the books in the Elder Scrolls are second to none. Great world building. Fantastic. Hello. Rayloff, please. You're in shock. Thank you. Oh. Is it because I burnt your friend and she got stabbed in the face? I'm sorry, but a wizard never apologizes. Is this the face of a mer that apologizes? You're a walking infant. The lifespan of man compared to mer, it's hilarious. Well, actually, really, if you don't understand what I'm saying, there is mankind, like the Nords, Rayloff, and Stormcloak Soldier here, and then there are the elves, or the mer. Dunmer, for dark elves. They come from their original Chimer forms before Azura cursed them in the, I believe, the second era.
orders are to wait.
Maybe the first era. Regardless, there was a curse. Saint Nerevar died. It was very sad. One of the more interesting parts about some of the characters you can find in this game is that they are mages. Who were once battle mages in the war, the Great War, that happens between Oblivion and Skyrim.
It's nothing.
Well, if it's nothing, then why are you complaining? I don't have heal leather yet. That's your fault.
Let's see where
I know
this
you
goes.
usually like to do that, but we've got a schedule to keep. A wizard is never late, nor is he early. Rayloff. He arrives precisely when he means to.
The rest of them will have to find another way out.
Well, I suppose they will. I love the water. Even though, like, if you really look at it hard, isn't that kind of slow for water? Like, right there, specifically? Like, that's fine. That is sluggish. Even that's fine. But this right here, that first little bit, it looks like it's almost trying to be like Play-Doh. Not Play-Doh, but maybe like slime. Ew. Also, if you didn't know, you can actually go through this little grate here, and there will be an extra healing potion, and a coin purse, and some other gold. Sorry, buddy. Now, I have made the executive decision. I am not falling behind, sir. Why don't you give me your boots? I've got foot wraps. This is a mage character. What kind of magic should I employ? I've got destruction. And not much else. Now, I'm an arachnophobe, so I'm just going to do the good thing. It's when they jump at you. Yeah.
I hate those down. Tiny eyes, you know?
You know, I don't really think it's more the eyes, honestly. It's like, it's the legs and the way they move. For me, personally. But I could get where somebody would be very unnerved by the eyes. Okay, see, like, it's pretty, but, like, I don't know. Maybe I need to just go back to the woods and watch water in its natural habitat. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's me.
Hold up. There's a bear just ahead. See her? I'd rather
Yes.
not tangle with her right now. Let's try to sneak by. Just take it nice and slow. And watch where you step. Or if you're feeling lucky, you can take this bow. Might take her by surprise. Go ahead. I'll follow your lead and watch your back.
And you call everyone else milk drinkers. Ridiculous. Ah, alchemy. I probably should have been picking up alchemy ingredients. Oh well. Sneaking. So is the audio still good though, Brad? Or maybe
Looks like the way
if
out.
the lurker wanted
Knew
to
we'd make it.
answer. Viewer number 2. No.
Wait!
Well, there goes the main plot.
There he goes. Looks like he's gone for good this time. No way to know if
How do you
anyone
know that's
else
a
made
he?
it out alive. But this place is going to be swarming with Imperials soon enough. Better clear out of
Nice.
here. My sister, Gerder, runs the mill in Riverwood, just up the road. I'm sure
Welcome
she'd
back to
help you.
Skyrim.
It's probably best
Really,
to
it
keep
is
up.
one of the...
Good luck. I wouldn't have made it without your help today.
And my commentary wouldn't have been interrupted without you today. Let's see. Now that is the only quest from the Creation Club that didn't get patched into the regular thing. Find Ruin's Edge. It's actually a random effect bow. Really quite interesting, really. But yeah, welcome to Skyrim. This little valley is right in between the border of Falkreath Hold and Whiterun Hold. It's one of my favorite starting areas in gaming. Even if Mr. Ulven here looks grumpy, I am not. Huzzah. Hopefully I can make that into a thumbnail. Alright. So, I've got quite a while before I need to be anywhere. What do you all think about content? Is there anything that you all haven't seen from the new Anniversary Edition update or anything like that? Have you all seen how relaxing fishing is? Now, there is a bandit camp just down the road here with a pair of black mage robes, which I don't need really, but they're good for disenchanting, and a treasure map. But that is not why I'm coming over here, because if you're lucky. If you go up here, I have not seen fishing. Good, where you're going to. Temple of, well, not really a temple. Oh, man. Is it a shrine if all the worshippers are dead? Ah, Brother Elf. Altmer. High Elf. Main or illusion? Good. This is hilarious. I'll give it a read for you. But this is what we're really here for. Alright. Falmore orders. Agent Sanyon, in response to your report dated 22nd Morningstar 401, your request for an expeditionary force is hereby denied. Sanyon, this is the 7th report you have filed this month, and not one of your leads, not one, has turned up so much as a shred of evidence that a Talos shrine exists in the Lake Ilianalta region. No prisoners, no documents, nothing. Our forces are stretched thin enough as it is, and I have better missions, better agents to assign them to. If you feel so sure of your informant, investigate this yourself. Come back with proof or not at all. By my hand and seal, Elenwen. Now, Elenwen is the main Falmore representative for the Aldmeri Dominion in Skyrim. You crash our party later on in the story, and she was actually present with General Tullius over in Helgen. Really, if you get out of Helgen quick enough, you can actually catch them walking away from Helgen. But I think that I was far too late. Now, Talos is actually really an interesting character in the higher lore. A lot of people think that Talos, which is it's very hard, because the Nords claim that Talos was a Nord, not only a Nord but an Atmoran. Now, an Atmoran would be any Nord-like person that came from north of the Sea of Ghosts. This is the Sea of Ghosts here, and if you keep sailing in the northern direction, you'll eventually hit a continent completely frozen in ice. It couldn't sustain life, so the Nords came to Skyrim, the fatherland of mankind. And they think that through interbreeding with other races, that you eventually get... Oh, hello. You eventually get your Imperials and your Bretons. I'm not sure what came first, the Breton or the Imperial. Because Bretons are a combination of man and mer. They're almost half-elves, but not quite. If you turn around, I'll burn you in the front. Oh, I was sassy. I earned that. Treasure map 1. I don't know why I'm not stripping all these people down. This is free gold right here. Oh yes, coin purse, lockpick, seared slaughterfish. Night falls on Sentinel for Rustleaf and Dawnstar. Never forget. Not too bad on the carry weight situation. Alright. Oh yes, we said that we were interested in fishing. Let's go fish while we've still got the day. It's about 3:50. Which means that if we go down this path, my stamina is low, thank you game. And then we look up at Bleak Falls Barrow. The first and one of the best dungeons in the game. I mean, just look at that presentation. Ugh. We have the Guardian Stones. And I'm sure that you all are very, very happy for me to take the Thief. Nah, I tease. The Mage. I just like watching it go up. Even though none of them ever do that ever again. When you retake them. I'm pretty sure. I may be wrong on that, actually. But if we come on down here and talk to Huckleberry Finnette, that's a woman. You take Line and Lure by Alan Seabird. You don't need to read it. But by taking the fishing rod, equipping the fishing rod, and looking at the fishing supplies, we can begin to fish. Alright. While fishing, press Activate, that's the A button on the Xbox, to reel in your line. Reeling when there's a strong pull on your line will reel in your catch. Ripples on the surface when casting your line are from nearby fish. If the water is calm when you cast your line, there are no more fish to catch here. Fish will return in a day's time. Well, that's good to know. Now, you'll never want to do it on the first pull, not even the second pull, but only when your rod holds position. There's 1, 2, 3. Oh, A juvenile mud crab. You have not seen cute until you've seen a juvenile mud crab. Absolutely. Stupendous. You can actually find these things crawling around in the tundra as well. So let's cast it back. A River Betty. Amazing. Very good for... Oh, eat it? Absolutely. I will not eat the River Betty because that's poisonous. A tankard. Well. The government doesn't exist yet. Alright. Juvenile Mud Crab. Regeneration of stamina. Why are we saying sorry? What is oof? It's fine. Ah, carp. Nice. Now, not all of them are alchemical ingredients, but most of them are. Ironically, you also, with this creation, get access to the rest of the ancient Nord weapon set, which adds in maces, war hammers, and daggers, actually. Oh yes, tankard. Yeah, and then from here on, I'll just keep catching trash. Yes, carp. Look at that. 2 points of health right there. If you cook it, that'll bring that up to 5. Now Argonians, because they they can breathe underwater, are actually very good at fishing like that. What I was just doing. Now, here's something you may have never seen. If you can catch a salmon that is jumping upriver, you can get this special alchemy ingredient called Salmon Row, which I think is just caviar, but it's very, very useful. Okay, let's see. So close. Oh, so close. Much more difficult than it appears. There we are. And if you take it right there, we have Salmon Row. Look at that. Good for restoring stamina. Oh yeah, I'm gonna kill a... First it was the broom in Assassin's Creed 2, now it's this. That's what I should do, a fisherman build. Oh yes. Yeah, I would love to live in the Riverwood region. It's just like, oh, I could read a book right here. And get mauled by a wolf or attacked by the witch that lives over there. That's what a lot of people, I think that really the best place to live in a fantasy world would probably be somewhere like the Shire, where people are like more prone to being good and not slaughtering bunnies. Bunny slaughter count to 1. It's a stat. Look it up. You know what? I'll look it up for you. I think it might be in combat. General. Bunny slaughtered. Yes. My favorite weapon is a fishing rod. Oh, Lord. What am I doing with my
dragon! I saw
young,
a dragon!
young
What?
mer
What is it
life?
now, Mother?
It was as big as the mountain and black as night. It flew right over the barrel.
Did it fly right over the... I don't believe her. Everyone's going to think she's crazy. Then what will they say at you at the tavern, Spin?
You're right. Follow me. Oh, come here a minute. I need your help with something.
What is it, woman? Sven drunk on the job again?
No, he's just being mean to his mother.
Raylo, what are you doing here? Huh. I'll be right down.
And friend. Oh. Nords. Oh, it's a fetus.
Uncle Rayla, can I see your axe? How many Imperials have you killed? Do you really know?
Oh
all the
yes, give the
stories?
child your axe.
Hush, Frodnar. This is no time for your games. Go and watch the South Road. Come find us if you see any Imperial soldiers coming.
Aw, Mama. I want to stay and talk with Uncle Rayla.
Look at you. Almost a grown man. Won't be long before you'll be joining the fight yourself.
That's right. Don't worry, Uncle Rayla. I won't let those soldiers sneak up on you.
Now, Rayla, what's going on? You two look pretty well done in. I can't remember when I last slept. Where to start? Well, the news you heard about Alfred was true. The Imperials ambushed us outside Darkwater Crossing. Like they knew exactly where we'd be. That was 2 days ago. We stopped in Helgen this morning.
And in those 2 days, they decided to stop me crossing the border into Skyrim,
Block and ready to start chopping.
chopping you all, not me.
They wouldn't dare give Alfred
Thank
a fair
you.
trial. Treason for fighting for your own people. All of Skyrim would have seen the truth then.
I always thought that was a very convenient line for Rayloff to say.
A
If I'm being
dragon
honest.
attacked.
You don't mean a real, live...
I can hardly believe it myself. And I was there. As strange as it sounds, we'd be dead if not for that dragon. In the confusion, we managed to slip away. Are we really the first to make it to Riverwood?
Nobody else
Rub
has come
on.
up the South Road today, as far as I know.
Good. Maybe we can lay up for a while. I hate to put your family in danger, Gerda, but...
Nonsense. You and your friend are welcome to stay here as long as you need to. Let me worry about the Imperials. Any friend of Raylof's is a friend of mine. Here's the key to the house. Stay as long as you like. If there is anything else you need, just let me know.
You know, I was always very surprised by that level of Nordic hospitality that you do not get also with the other, with Hadvar's
There
family.
is something
They'll lock you out,
For all of us.
100%.
The Jarl needs to know if there's a dragon on the loose.
Though that is a bit more
Riverwood is
realistic, I
defenseless.
suppose.
We need to get word to Jarl Balgruuf in Whiterun to send whatever troops he can. If you'll do that for me, I'll be in your debt.
Thanks, sister. I knew we could count on you.
Yeah, thanks, sister.
Also get back to work.
You know, when they made the Sister Act, they had Gerda in mind. All right. The Riverwood Trader, which will be open 24/7 unless you complete the
Well,
golden
one of
call.
us has to do something.
I said no. No adventures, no theatrics, no thief chasing.
No
Well,
thief
what are you
chasing.
going to do then, huh? Let's
Ridiculous.
hear it.
Why am I even here?
We are done talking about this. Oh, a customer. Sorry you had to hear that. Yeah, well, I don't know what you overheard, but...
Do you sell
I
spells?
think I have a few old spell books laying about. If you want more, you'll have to go to the College of Winterhold.
Never buy this. You can actually find a free copy of the book in Embershard Mine, just up the road. Yes. Well. Let's see what we can do. But definitely completing the 3 elements is a must. Ah, boots. Let's forget. Oh, and never forget you can also find Mage backpacks. But it might be cheaper, honestly, to just make one. Or find one. Let's see. We got Frostbite. Let's get... Oak Flesh is a good one. Yeah. Okay, well, that's fine.
Damn,
I could sell
the Riverwood
spells.
Trader is ever... Some may call this junk. Me, I call them treasures.
I'm sure you do. 15 gold? Ooh. That hurts.
I better get back to cleaning the store. What a...
But yes. Let's see. About 53 minutes in. I think that I will end the stream with the rendition of a book. Now, these books are like 6 pages long at most. And we will close the book on dear Master Wizard, almost, Ulven. Almost. Let's see. A Brief History of the Empire, Volume 1. Or Knights Falls on Sentinel. The Book of the Dragonborn. Let's see. I haven't read this one in a while. The Book of the Dragonborn by Prior Emmeline Madrine, Order of Talos, Waynon Priory. Year 360 of the Third Era, 21st of the reign of His Majesty Pelagius IV. Many people have heard the term Dragonborn. We are, of course, ruled by the Dragonborn Emperors, but the true meaning of the term is not commonly understood. For those of us in the Order of Talos, this is a subject near and dear to our hearts, and in this book, I will attempt to illuminate the history and significance of those known as Dragonborn, down through the ages. Most scholars agree that the term was first used in connection with the Covenant of Akatosh, when he blessed Saint Alessia. When the blessed Saint Alessia was given the Amulet of Kings and the dragonfires in the Temple of the One were first lit. Akatosh, looking with pity upon the plight of men, drew precious blood from his own heart and blessed Saint Alessia with this blood of dragons and made a covenant that so long as Alessia's generations were true to the dragon blood, Akatosh would endeavor to seal tight the gates of oblivion and to deny the armies of Daedra and undead to their enemies, the Daedra-loving Aliens. Those blessed by Akatosh with the dragon blood became known more simply as Dragonborn. The connection with the rulers of the Empire was thus there from the beginning. Only those of the dragon blood were able to wear the Amulet of Kings and light the dragon fires. All the legitimate rulers of the Empire have been Dragonborn. The emperors and empresses of the First Cyrodiilic Empire, founded by Alessia, Riemann Cyrodiil and his heirs, and of course Tiber Septim and his heirs, down to our current emperor, His Majesty Pelagius Septim IV. Because of this connection with the emperors, however, the other significance of the Dragonborn has been obscured and largely forgotten by all but scholars and those of us dedicated to the service of the Blessed Talos. Who was Tiber Septim? Very few realize that being Dragonborn is not a simple matter of heredity. Being the blessing of Akatosh himself, it is beyond our understanding exactly how and why it is bestowed. Those who become emperor and light the dragonfires are surely Dragonborn. The proof is in the wearing of the amulet and the lighting of the fires. But were they Dragonborn and thus able to do these things, or was the doing the sign of the blessing of Akatosh descending upon them? All that we can say is that it is both and neither, a divine mystery. The line of Septims have all been Dragonborn, of course, which is one reason the simplistic notion of it being hereditary has become so commonplace. But we know for certain that the early Cyrodiilic rulers were not all related. There is also no evidence that Riemann Cyrodiil was a descendant from Alessia. Although there are many legends that would make it so, most of them dating from the time of Riemann and likely attempts to legitimize his rule, we know that the Blades, usually thought of as the Emperor's bodyguards, originated in Akaviri crusaders who invaded Tamriel for obscure reasons in the late First Era. They appear to have been searching for a Dragonborn. The events at Pale Pass bear this out, and the Akaviri were the first to proclaim Riemann Cyrodiil as Dragonborn. In fact, it was the Akaviri who did the most to promote his standing as Emperor, although Riemann himself never took that title in his lifetime. and of course there is no known hereditary connection between Tiber Septim and any of the previous Dragonborn rulers of Tamriel. Whether there can be more than one Dragonborn at any time is another mystery. The emperors have done their best to dismiss this notion, but of course, the imperial succession itself means that at the very least, there are two or more potential Dragonborn at any time. The current ruler and his or her heirs. The history of the Blades also hints at this, although little is known of their activities during the interregnum between Reman's empire and the rise of Tiber Septim. Many believe that the Blades continued to search out and guard those they believed were, or might be, Dragonborn during this time. Lastly, we come to the question of the true meaning of being Dragonborn. The connection with dragons is so obvious that it has almost been forgotten. In these days, when dragons are a distant memory, we forget that in the early days, being Dragonborn meant having the dragon blood. Some scholars believe that was meant quite literally, although the exact significance is not known. The Nords tell tales of Dragonborn heroes who were great dragon slayers, able to steal the power of the dragons they killed. Indeed, it is well known that the Akaviri sought out and killed many dragons during their invasion, and there is some evidence that this continued after they became Riemann Cyrda's Dragon Guard. Again, the connection to dragons. The direct predecessor to the Blades of today. I leave you with what is known as the Prophecy of the Dragonborn. It is often said to originate in an Elder Scroll, although it is sometimes also attributed to the ancient Akaviri. Many have attempted to decipher it, and many have also believed that its omens had been fulfilled and that the advent of the last Dragonborn was at hand. I make no claims as an interpreter of prophecy, but it does suggest that the true significance of Akatosh's gift to mortal kind has yet to be fully understood. When misrule takes its place at the eight corners of the world, when the brass tower walks and time is reshaped, when the thrice blessed fail and the red tower trembles, when the Dragonborn ruler loses his throne and the white tower falls, when the snow tower lies sundered, kingless, bleeding, the World Eater wakes and the wheel turns upon the last Dragonborn. Now that's very interesting. When misrule takes its place at the eight corners of the world, this would be a reference to the Elder Scrolls 1 Arena. When the brass tower walks and time is reshaped, this is also a reference to the Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall, in which there is a dragon break, a warp in the west. When the thrice blessed fail and the red tower trembles. This is the tribunal of Morrowind. They fail in their ability to be living gods, and the red tower, which could be construed as the Red Mountain, volcano of Morrowind, and the ash vampire that dwells within Dagath-Ur, and the whole Neverween thing happens. When the Dragonborn ruler loses his throne, and the White Tower falls. This would be Oblivion and the Great War, when Uriel Septim dies at the beginning of Oblivion, and when Martin Septim sacrifices himself, essentially the line of Septim Emperors is destroyed. And the White Tower, which is the Imperial City's palace, falls during the White Tower will fall during the Great War. Now, the Snow Tower is probably in reference to Skyrim. It lies sundered, kingless and bleeding. This is the Civil War. This is Ulfric Stormcloak killing High King Torrig. The World Eater, Alderman, wakes, and the wheel turns, the Wheel of Time, upon the last Dragonborn. This fellow, or your own, because Skyrim is everyone's chance to scribe an Elder Scroll. Thank you for wandering with me for a little bit over an hour. I'm trying to get better at my broadcasting and my general setup, so that when I start the Assassin's Creed Marathon tomorrow, that it is as enjoyable of an experience as possible. A little bit shorter of a stream today. I have a few errands to run, but this was fun. This was fun, and I was able to share a little bit of lore with anybody who might have been listening, and to anybody that knows me personally. I am a lore fiend. So if you like what I'm doing here, you like the content, please share my streams with a friend. My Twitch handle is Jeff the Narrator 469, all one word. Or you can find me on YouTube under simply Jeff the Narrator. I will be uploading all of the streams as rewatchable videos on the YouTube channel. And hopefully, if I get some series running, it'll be something that people can look forward to. But as I stand on Riverwood stump, gazing at this waterfall, or maybe I could find the famous moons or that mud crab over there. I just thank you all for watching, and I'll quit rambling now. Remember, keep telling great stories.